In physics, power is the amount of energy transferred or converted per unit time. Power is a scalar quantity. The output power of a motor is the product of the torque that a motor generates and the angular velocity of its output shafts. Power. In science and engineering, time rate of doing work or delivering energy expressible as the amount of work done, W, or energy transferred divided by the time interval, or W-T. As is implied by the equation for power, a unit of power is equivalent of a unit of work divided by a unit of time. Thus, a watt is equivalent to a joule or second. Thus, the power of a machine is the work or time ratio for the particular machine. A car engine is an example of a machine that is given a power rating. Power is defined as the ability to act or have influence over others. An example of power is the strength needed to run 5 miles. In physics, however, it has very specific meaning. It is a measure of the rate at which work is done, or similarly, at which energy is transferred. The ability to accurately measure power was one of the key abilities which allowed early engineers to develop the steam engines which drove the Industrial Revolution. An electric circuit is capable of transferring power. Current is the rate of the flow of charge, and voltage measure the energy transferred per unit of charge. In physics, power is the amount of energy transferred or converted per unit time. In the International System of Units, the unit of power is the watt, equal to 1 joule per second. In older works, power is sometimes called activity power, is scalar quantity. Power is defined as the ability to act or have influence over others. An example of power is the strength needed to run 5 miles. An example of power is the authority a local government has to collect taxes. Power. How fast energy can be changed into work. Electric power, electricity that comes from power plants or generators. In sociology, power is the ability of a person to make another person do something. This might also be called influence or control. Electrical power in a circuit is the rate at which energy is absorbed or produced within a circuit. A source of energy such as voltage will produce or deliver while the connected load absorbs it. Electric power is used to provide air, continuing in hot climates, and in some places, electric power is an economically competitive source of energy for building space, heating, use of electric power for pumping water ranges from individual household wells to irrigation projects and energy storage project. Power is defined as a rate energy. U start text and U and end text is transformed or transferred over time. We measure power in units of joules or second, also known as watts. Electrical power is the product of voltage times current in units of watts. In physics, power is the amount of energy transferred or converted per unit time. In the International System of Units, the units of power is a watt, equal to 1 joule per second. Units. The dimension of power is energy divided by time. In the International System of Units, the unit of power is the watt, which is equal to 1 joule per second. Power. The quantity work has to do with a force causing a displacement. Work has nothing to do with the amount of time that this force acts to cause the displacement. The quantity that has to do with the rate at which a certain amount of work is done is known as the power. Power manifests itself in several forms. Among these are expert power, reward power, legitimate power, referent power, and coercive power. One other power forms include information power, tradition power, and charismatic power. Closely related to informational power, expert power is when an individual possesses is doubt, information, knowledge, or expertise in the area that they are responsible for. This type of power is often the most effective type of power. Power is a measure of the amount of work that can be done in a given amount of time. Power equals work divided by time. The SI unit for power is the watt, which equals 1 joule of work per second. Power may be measured in a unit called the horsepower. The SI unit of power is the watt, 1 joule per second. Voltage, also called electromotive force, is a quantitative expression of the potential difference in charge between 2 points in an electrical field. Electrical power is the rate per unit time at which electrical energy is transferred by an electrical circuit. Power is a function of voltage times the volume of electrons current. Power is the ability to do work and is measured in watts. The higher the voltage, the more power you have with the same current. Power equals work divided by time. The SI unit for power, the watt, which equals 1 joule of work per second. Power may be measured in a unit called horsepower. 1 horsepower is the amount of work a horse can do in 1 minute, which equals 745 watts of power.